Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru, hello, hello, hello.
And folks, today we are taking a quick break from the Terrible Divisions tournament to actually bring you over something from the Greenhorn Cup. Today on Slutsk East, who do we have here, Rang?
On the left-hand side in blue, we have von Hovel playing as the 1st Romanian Armour Division, and on the right-hand side we have Kamfpkeks playing as the 29th Tank Corps.
So, 29th Tank Corps, known quantity, the standard Zvedkas, you have the T-3476s, the standard Soviet armored play. What's von Hovel really bringing on in with that, what is it, which division? The 1st Made. What's going on with that?
Pretty much another minor Axis nascent tank division, shoulder tanks, so really just Stugs and Panzer IVs, which they get on loan. They got pretty decent infantry, some nice armoured cars, they're pretty well-rounded for the most part, with some good air power. As we see here, we already got a cluster bomber coming off immediately, probably try to snipe these two T-34s, but Zhukov is in the sky, and it may not be a fighter plane, but when you have that many machine guns, I don't think you really have to convince anyone otherwise.
Nope, I think he's gonna get the bombs off just in time, so he's probably gonna die, but he's gonna take something with him? No!
Oh, wow, those T-34s are dodging it like hell.
Wow, but the stars are apparently not aligning, and neither is that Zhukov, as he just continues to just fart around. ME-109, the G6, I don't know. This actually is surprisingly enough not quite what I expected out of that air power.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna fly to a different theater.
The battlefield chat right. There we go.
But looking back to the center, of course, being Slutsk East, we're going to see a lot of contestation over that ridge over here in the center, and unfortunately, it looks like the Pioneer assault is forcing back the Rozvedkas and their associated half-tracks with all too much ease here.
Yeah, those Romanian Pioneers are just fantastic, because they're, two bloody flamethrowers on a 10-man squad. You can't really go wrong with that.
Well, not for nothing, but the SMGs are pretty damn good too. Not for.
Yep.
100 meters, so of course that's always the biggest kind of concern here. But yeah, the Pioneer assault, and now I kind of want to take another quick look. So the Venatori Moto over here to the north as well. Was that basically the Bren knockoff? A couple of rifles, submachine gun, fairly well rounded. Oh, the original Bren.
Yeah. The Bren was like a Czech designed machine gun, where it's British kind of like loan. Well, they purchased like a license and they made their own tweaks, but yeah, pretty good squad. I mean, you got 2 machine guns, which is nice. That's pretty key for a lot of firepower of squads, unless you're a Russian squad, because DPs are pretty crap.
I sincerely had not even known that. Another Ju-87 coming on in. I think the G6 has basically given the Axis here a measure of air supremacy.
Yep. And this is going to be very important, because especially later on, Dreamtime Tank Corps it was rather dastardly IS-2s. On a map like this, especially down south, IS-2s are a huge pain in the arse, so really his most efficient way of knocking out said tanks is from the air.
Certainly would seem so. And indeed, I'm actually a little bit concerned as this T-34-85, this 44 in the center. I was say the Germans, but the Romanians over here desperately outgunned by that thing.
Yeah, I do have a Panzer IV sneaking up. It does have the veteran sheet, which is nice, but I mean, it has a good chance that it can kill the T-34, but with the previous times that we've seen Panzer IVs perform, they always just seem to be a little bit outclassed.
Yeah, underwhelming puts it kind of mildly, but we are seeing another swell of reinforcements. In fact, several T4s over here to the north. Yeah, I'm seeing a major axis of attack from that axis up here too, and I can't help but feel that's kind of coming with a conjunction from this central position. I wonder if he's going to go outside of this hillside, this forest here. Would not be the greatest decision, but it would be technically possible.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the ridgeline under control, which is pretty huge. If he can get some of those tanks or support guns on that ridgeline to start, hammering the northern end of that town, you can pretty clearly capture it.
Now, I'm kind of fascinated to see also IG-18. I wonder if he's going to be able to shoot at that anti-air position over there. It's quite vital that he actually can do so. But we'll certainly see. Down to the south, another G. Yep, another Ju-87 coming in. The T-34 from the south. Intriguing. Okay. Oh wait, did the 85 go down?
I think so. I think the Panzer IV got him. The veterancy definitely helped.
That is shocking beyond all measure.
Yeah. And there we go, 87 dropping in the clusters, and that's another T-34 going down. The air power very early on from von Hovel has been pretty on point.
Well, not for nothing, but the Dush goes down too up to the north. There's a 37 mil, but that's about it. Yeah, we're gonna see a town basically fall into Romanian hands pretty quickly. We're gonna see more T4s moving on in, and all of those tanks. I feel like that's got to be enough to engage everything here in the Northern Theater.
Yeah, if he can get those tanks onto the ridgeline, I mean, at long range, you do clearly beat out the T-34 76s. So that would be pretty good. I have a feeling, that Kamfpkeks infantry is a little bit too dug in right now for von Hovel to really try to claw out. He does have some more Vanatori reinforcements being brought in, and two mortar half-tracks, which is a fantastic choice. So, I think slowly but surely, he should get control of his town.
Interesting. Okay, I'd actually check it in the center here as we had another duel going on between a 44-85 or an 85-44, depending on how you prefer to see your technical specs here, and a very, very quick kill actually from the P4. But it might not be enough to save this Ognamachiki over here inside that factory complex.
Yeah, he's got two enemy infantry squads which are going to be coming in, and even though he doesn't lose Panzer IV, if he can capture that. Well, I guess it's like a farmstead. That'd be a pretty huge bane, because, pretty good gain, not a bane, because it's an extra flag under your control, and if you might be a rare, you need the flags to win the match.
Well, no flag, no rules, that's how it goes. So I'm actually also interested to see this Dushka and the 37 mil. Okay, yeah, they're both being engaged right now, and the Dushka is already dead.
Yeah. Once again, Stuka coming in, knocks out the 80... Kamfpkeks really needs to get some fighter planes and more NTA on the field, because, oh my god, yeah, the 37 mil in the center is going to shoot down the Stuka, which is a pretty good kill, but he is also going to lose the 37 mil.
And you don't get that many of those. I know it seems like you should get an absolute ton, considering how relatively inexpensive they could be. Ognamachiki, in the meantime, very quickly going down. Any second here.
Any day.
I didn't quite appreciate how good that armored car is against garrisons, but we had a squad in that northern building, the one that is currently now rebel, taken out pretty dang quickly. I was quite impressed by that.
Yeah. This is, heading into B phase. Both sides have the same income, of course, so nothing really is going to change. But yeah, von Hovel, he has the high ground. He's pretty close to securing that northern town. I'm wondering if we head into B phase for Kamfpkeks, he might have some IS-2 up his sleeve, which would definitely help out if he tries to do some sort of southern push, but he's going to need a little bit more air control if he wants to safely use his IS-2s.
I'll tell you what, he does have a couple Wolverines in his back pocket. I'm not sure they have any kind of healing factor there, but...
They just have a big gun.
Yeah, but, every now and again, the whole adamantium thing hasn't been invented yet, so... But it's kind of fascinating to watch these two mortar half-tracks were almost scampering for the bridge, and then thought to themselves, wait a second, I like living, and backed up.
Yeah, you don't want to get those guys too close. No, I'm so happy to see mortar half-tracks being used. As we're usually seeing 1v1s, the meta is always to go for off-map artillery. But mortar half-tracks is like your second best choice, because you can win town fights. Especially using the German runs, because with the radio-corrected shots, you're just laser accurate.
Well, exactly, and I was going to say even more so than that. Yes, the off-map call-ins are extremely good, but I like the consistency that you get from how mortars, whether it's mortar half-tracks or otherwise. I like the consistency.
Yeah, they're so key in town fights. Like you can just win town fights with Earth infantry if you just have like one or two mortars nearby, just given effective suppressive fire.
Now we have Strokies and more anti-air being brought on in. I'm not sure I really like their opportunities, though.
Yeah, the Strokey DPs, they're pretty good infantry. Well, actually, no, they've been nerfed now. They don't have the SVTs.
Yes.
So, I always keep forgetting that. So yeah, in a straight up fight against the Vanatories, it's pretty even Stevens. There's probably some statistical benefit to either one or the other, but I think it's pretty even.
I'll tell you the statistical benefit of being that T4 right there, taking out the M10 as soon as it came in. There's the IS2 being called in right now, but good freaking luck getting yourself in any kind of fighting trim. That P4 dominates the road. Unrepentantly.
Yeah, he does. But if the IS2 comes up, the T4 can't really do anything against him. But we still have those scary Stukas, and that could, make a lot of small holes in the top of that IS2 very quickly.
But we're going to see that the P4 is just to the southwest of this eastern bridge here. Crew killed right now on the left side of my screen. Other one went down just now to courtesy the other M10. But the Dushka didn't unload his 37 mil, so not even a moral victory there, just a complete and unashamed defeat.
Yeah.
But Von Hovel looks like he's about ready to say ta-ta for now. We have two Stokes coming on into the center, backed up by one of those quad mount 20 mil anti-air positions.
I'm guessing .T.A or T, TA stands for tank assault, assault tank. That's what I'm guessing, but as usual, hello people in comments, you can always correct us.
Exactly. But you know what? If we went through some of these matches and we didn't learn something occasionally, where's the fun in that? P4 is going to get engaged here pretty quickly. In fact, we're going to see why that 135 pen is not worth diddly squat under the circumstances. And yes, and he backs away. I think he was moving into some new cover as the mortar half tracks drop down smoke too, which is a great idea.
Yeah, I do like the idea. I mean, it's not going to be effective in its current position, but if you can maybe get up, once IS2 stops moving forward and then smoke it, and then use that to trade, maybe, try to rush up a Panzer IV to get a flanking shot. A bit ballsy, but in terms of a ground game kill, that's really his best bet. And Kampf is getting the IS2, I think, a little bit too close. He's bringing up some infantry reinforcements. I mean, fortunately for him, there isn't really too much scary here. Even the Panzer IV isn't all that scary at close range. But still, it's a risky position to be in.
We do have the, not even the silent killer, the screaming killer, I guess, the Ju-87 coming in with those clusters, which is either going to be brilliant or it's going to be awful, but I couldn't say for whom. And here comes the fateful bombing run. There we go.
It's such key air power.
If there is a bit of hope, it's this concentration about a kilometer to the south. You can see what that span is with the 8485s, or 3485, excuse me, 3485 and 3476, and all that infantry in the forest. That might be the smallest gasp of hope, and nope, never mind, it's going to get pounded by mortars.
And he's got Von Hover as the Stugs as well as the Panzer IV on the other end of that ridge line. So, yeah, if those tanks do come up and over, they're just going to get blasted. And
he's got a recon airplane coming in, too, which I actually adore this call. It's a great call.
Yeah, it's one of the off-map runs. Drops in 2 10 mils. So, yeah, I guess he's going to drop it in that large concentration.
Interestingly, we see this T-3485 going up the hill into the face of 3 armored vehicles. He's probably going to take out at least one. I mean, the rate of fire is something fierce on that, but, wait, here comes Castro's Curse. Castro's Curse. Yowza.
There comes the off-map, and that is pretty much on the perfect target.
No. Oh, he's desperately trying to move the infantry through. Okay. We're just going to sit here and watch as all the body parts start flying in the air in about 25 seconds.
Might be able to get some of them just out of... I mean, they're going to be out of range, but as we know, off-map artillery does have a nasty habit of dropping outside your actually.
Regrettably,
it seems.
If he gets out of range, it's because it's the armored vehicles.
Yeah.
All the infantry's not even being tasked to go outside that circle. We're getting a couple moments here, but it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
I'm calling 50% casualties.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Well, that definitely depends on that first shell.
Oh, wow, it's dropping a little bit short, yeah. Oh, just to the left,
Whoa!
a couple hundred meters.
Okay, well that's two. We got some pins. But the tank with the Niki are into the
Yeah.
trees. That's important.
That's pretty good, but the Pioneer Soach with the flamethrowers are... Yeah, they're just going to beat them out.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And the extra tank support. Now, Von Hovel's, done a pretty good job of just really building up that medium tank force. The Panzer IVs and Stugs aren't, the best tanks, but they work if you outnumber the enemy.
Oh, that was a lucky crit there by on the Cobra.
Oh, yeah.
Ju-87 was just kind of going into his attack run right now. Still might even go down. But I didn't even see the other Kamfpkeks come on in, and this could be another kill. Yeah, wow.
I do like how Kamf has actually got some air power now, but didn't come in at the right time. Yeah. And now Von Hover has managed to build up an anti-aircraft there, even though it's just one flak villain on the back of a half-track. But one flak villain is a pretty heavy anti-aircraft net on itself. He does shoot down the Stuka, which is, I mean, prefer to shoot it down before it kills the tank, but I don't think Von Hovel has too many of them, because it seems like he mainly took A phase runs. So...
And he's lost 2 already, so...
Yeah, Cobra SE doing really bloody good job here, look at that, but oh, Messerschmitt gets a good strafe.
Let's go back over the 20 mils one more time. Engine stalling, yeah.
Like 2 for 2, so, I mean, the also lose an IS-2, so it's not the best trade for Kamf, but he can make sure no more Stukas and get another IS-2. He should have ground control.
Oh, well, Major Tom, that's true, but just the anti-air has just still not been acceptable over on the Russian side.
Yeah, it keeps getting killed. Or I mean, you got like 137 mil up north, and you got a second one being brought in, but like losing the runs down south definitely hurt him a bit.
Kind of amusing. We've seen next to no action down to the south. We've seen maybe some light movement. We can see a couple pyres where vehicles once trod or wheeled, perhaps. Yeah, it looks like a couple of scout cars, really. But outside of that, was zero action.
Yeah, both sides really just tunnel visioned up on the northern side. And that's a bit of a shame for Kamf, because his division would definitely benefit with a heavy armored push just right through the southern central position in the open field. But he's trying to resecure his northern town, and he does have off map, only 76 mil off map, which is pretty weak, but it's off map still.
Part of this is actually kind of a shame that we know, even if there is a heavy Russian tank, move those central panzers 500 meters east, 500 meters southeast. Pick up that extra flag just to kind of put the icing on it.
Yeah.
As much as I'm not a kind of guy who wants to go and run up the score or kicking the other guy when he's down, SD2 is one of those times when chivalry kind of goes out the window.
Kind of like Eastern Front.
Oh, exactly. It's exactly what it is.
It's about total domination.
And I guess the Romanians have themselves some captured equipment. They actually have a 4G917T. Never really heard about that before. I think it's a Lend-Lease, isn't it?
Oh.
Capture Lend-Lease.
It looks like something from World War I, so I guess it's... I don't know. I do like if you zoom in on it, instead of having like side mirrors, it has jerry cans. Like a very odd...
Second.
Like zoom in, it looks like it has like jerry cans as ears. I mean, they are jerry cans. It's just a very bizarre looking... It's a very odd way to store jerry cans, man.
Well, Jerry needs them all the time, and Romanians are allied to Jerry, ergo, keep him close.
Jerry just likes to hitch a ride.
He certainly seems to. Watching this northern force get pounded actually by the 76-2s. Another T4... Okay, good. So then this 20 mil half-tracks being brought on in. I'm surprised there's not been more infantry. There's some more. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Because, definitely going to need him, because the Fanatories up north are getting a little bit thin. But same the Strokies as well.
But you know what? It's Labor Day, or just about Labor Day, when you and I are recording this here. So they're just trying to look good for bikini season. I mean, bikini season in Russia is year-round, right?
Yeah, of course. Especially in December.
I was going to say, it makes as much sense to wear a bikini in December as it does otherwise, yeah, so... And actually, with all that extra new material being brought on in, there's no way in heck that's going to get lost as a town. The town's not going to get lost, that's fine.
Yeah, all those Thanatories and the Pioneers are really going to lock that down. Kamfpkeks getting some AD2 mills up north. But yeah, it doesn't really have infantry support to back up any said person. I think it's pretty clear that Von Hover is going to take this. So do you want to take us to a ×2?
Sure, let's do it at 2030.
Okay.
So watching the Wolverine go down here in the center. ×2.
There we go.
Another TOT barrage being called on in, and they'll probably do some, effective death and destruction here. But all the same, it's not going to be enough. It's too late. And wait, down to the south, we actually finally see some aggression here, Vanatori, and there goes the entire southern front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that's going to be a huge amount of territory for Von Hovel, and as you can see, he's got the 3+ lead, so 2 minutes and it'll all be over.
Yep, I dare say the, let's say, Soprano is warming up in the wings. Another 37 mil going down. Again, that really was the great killer here, is that they could not keep that air power under control.
Yeah, those early Stukas completely killed all of Camp's tank forces, and then in terms of that armor game build-up, he just couldn't match up to... Even though the T4s and TAs are pretty mediocre tanks, when you have this many on the field and you don't have any tanks of your own, you just kind of lose.
Yeah, the quantity having a quality all its own and all that.
Yeah, but even though this is like, okay, so this is like a Greenhorn Cup, so we got keep in mind that the people playing here are newer to the game. It's not like a standard SD League coverage, but they did pretty good, frankly. Like, yeah. I liked the general strategy. I could see both guys playing. Like, I liked seeing the mortars. I liked pretty good off map. It's just for Kamf's side, he really needed to control that air game, much stronger of an Iron Fist early on, because that really screwed him over. If he could have had that ground game with the IS-2s, I think his match would have gone totally different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, KD, holy crap, is like... I think that's a lot towards the end as well. I mean, just looking at... even early on, a lot of stuff died. Just a lot of Russians died in general.
But that's the case, though, too. I mean, geez, we had 5 ground kills, which I thought there was a lot more than just 5. But regardless, it was an effective interdiction, to say the least.
Yeah, those Stukas really paid themselves off. I mean, just killing one IS-2 or one of your Stukas is... You paid off your airplane, which is a really good trade. But yeah, just fantastic use of air power from Von Hovel. I mean, the remaining armor division isn't super fantastic. I mean, lacking like heavy AT in a lot of regards does hurt, especially in standard ST2 gameplay. But with the Stukas and good air power, he managed to live without it, and good use of the Panzer IVs and Stugs.
True, and actually, honestly, Kamfpkeks, Von Hovel, first of all, welcome to the game, and secondly, I hope we see some more material from you guys. You definitely showed a lot of promise with it. Just keep playing the game. You're refining it well.
Yeah, this is, I mean, for being like I said, like, for being a Greenhorn Cup, this is, the strategies employed were pretty good.
Indeed. Indeed. Any final thoughts there, Rang?
Nope. Just keep it up.
Alright, folks, in that case then, we will see you Thursday. Until then, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.